Hello YouTube, Quan here again, and today I just wanted to talk to you about one of my favorite companies, and I say that with all the sarcasm in the world, Electronic Arts, a publisher that's gone down in infamy for its business practices, its swallowing up of different development studios and spitting out their remains. What can I say? You know, how the mighty have fallen. Electronic Arts needs to do something and needs to do it quick to do a turnaround. Their stock's been on the plummet for the longest time. And it's all due to things like consumers not buying into this excessive amount of DRM they've been throwing in their games. This abuse of companies that don't basically allow themselves to be strong armed into using their sources of distribution, not naming names, we already know who. This whole putting out of cookie cutter franchises year after year after year with little change in their iteration. They their digital distribution platform, Origin, with its myriad of vulnerabilities it's had in the past, its disconnects that it had when you tried to log onto their servers, what have you. It's been quite a problem. Finally, we've seen that their efforts at always on DRM with SimCity resulted pretty much in the same thing that happened to Ubisoft when they had their little issues with Settler 7. Publishers, developers, can I say something? Always on DRM? Not smart, okay? Not a smart move in the least, okay? Just keep that in mind. You know that if you're so worried about losing money and people not buying your product that you got to sit up here and just hold on to every dime you get, wouldn't it be much easier just to put out something that people actually enjoy? You know? Because quite honestly, if somebody's going to pirate your product, they're going to pirate your product. End of story. They're going to circumvent your little neat little tricks. It's been done time and time again. So, I mean, you might want to loosen up with that. But still, I digress. Getting back to the main matter at hand. Turns out that EA's finally had enough. And so, they've fed the masses a sacrificial lamb by the name of John Riccitiello. So, John Riccitiello, CEO of Electronic Arts, has submitted his letter of resignation. Now, but what does that mean to us? Okay. Fine, a lot of his decisions were bad. Downright colossally bad in some cases. But were they all just his decisions? The reason I'm bringing that up is simple. Whoever they put back in his place, whoever they put in his seat, if it's more of the same, what was the point in firing the man? Oh, I'm sorry. I mean having him resign. But still, what would be the point? Electronic Arts, if you really want to publicize things such as this, so to give people the impression that there's going to be a change, you're going to have to actually change things. Okay? You've made a lot of colossal mistakes as a company. Star Wars of the Old Republic stands as one, despite the fact that that game was very good, damn good. I still play it. Okay? But you've got to do something. My advice as a consumer, from a person that purchases your products, and I'm sure others here feel the same, is this. Okay? If you're going to bring DLC, for example, Why don't you do this? Bring back the expansions instead of these bite-sized DLCs. What do I mean? For those of us who play games such as, and here's an excellent example, Dragon Age Origins, not that long after, there was an expansion for this that arguably had some continuity problems here and there, but aside from that, it was an expansion that enhanced the story, carried over the plot, and was a nice little segue into Dragon Age's sequel. Okay? So, I mean, this is what would make for a worthy purchase when it comes to DLC. But spending $5 on a bunch of, character outfits? No. I mean, fine, it's like an impulse buy, a guilty pleasure for some, but come on now. At the end of the day, if you have something pretty, nice, but people find useless sitting on the shelf, it's something pretty and nice, and it's sitting on the shelf. If it's not getting into consumer hands, what was the point of spending all those resources making these things? So, my advice to you is start with your biggest problem, and that is this nickel and diming DLC crap that you've been doing. Second thing, take your time to release your games. Don't water them down and make them stupid, insulting the intelligence of people. Mass Effect 1, nice. Mass Effect 2, brilliant. Was even the first game that I've heard of put in the Smithsonian Institute. Wow, that speaks well of BioWare. Can't say it speaks well of you, EA, but it speaks well of BioWare. But then 3 comes out, and we all tasted the rainbow in the ending. What? Really? You pulled a Deus Ex? You pulled an ABC's Lost on us? Really? Because somebody leaked the ending on the internet, the original one. Nah. And what have you done to Dead Space? What happened? I was hoping for a return to survival horror. Instead, it's about as scary as that The Thing game that came out years ago where you guaranteed knew that anybody you were with, the second that you lost track of them, they came back as one of those things. What happened to the jump scares? What happened to, and fine, there's a few, but still. Dead Space was supposed to be the return to survival horror. To me, that was supposed to be the franchise that felt more like Aliens than Aliens Colonial Marines. And what did you do? Like I said, you guys have to stop pushing all those companies that you have under your wing, all those developers, into rushing product. Give them a little bit of artistic freedom. And for the love of God, I don't mean the kind of art that spewed out the crack of the behind that is BioWare with what they did to the ending of my beloved franchise, Mass Effect 3. No, that's not art. Okay? That's about as artistic as announcing a fart in a crowded elevator. But getting back to the things at hand. If you start making better products, if you stop churning out excessive DLC, if you stop releasing on-disc DLC that's locked, if you stop getting people with season passes, if you start offering incentives, and here's another one that I suggest to you. If a person purchases your DLC, if you choose to continue that path, and they bought them upon release, then at the last release of the DLCs that you have for that particular product, Give a customer loyalty reward or something to the ones that actually bought upon release. Something to let them know, hey, you know what? Wow, this guy, he didn't wait for the Game of the Year edition that has all the stuff on the desk. He bought them as they came out. Let's toss him a bone, you know? He supported our developers. He supported us. It's just a thought. Like I said, sometimes, you guys are so obsessed with making money, you forgot how to do it right. So, like I said, Electronic Arts, let's see you rebuild yourself. If the ouster of the CEO, John Riccitiello, is to mean anything, make a change in how you handle your practices in business with the different hardware companies, with how you maintain Origin, your distribution platform, with how you handle DLC. Electronic Arts, let's hope that there's change worth noting besides who's sitting on a chair. Well, YouTube, this is a long rant that I've made about these guys. I'm just sorry, they just tick me off. Something awful. It's been real. I hope to see you guys out. And if you own a Wii U and you own Monster Hunter, Amazon's delivering my copies today for the 3DS and the Wii U. Feel free to add me. I'll put my friend code in my channel description. I've already put my NNID, so feel free to add me. But please just let me know who you are from YouTube, okay? Just to keep things, I don't know, less confusion. Because I get a ton of people that ask to friend me and whatever on there, and I rather know who I'm dealing with. Okay? But still, like I said, it's been real. It's been fun. And until the next time, YouTube.